Last question before we get into picks and prediction of week 9. We're halfway through the season. We had week 9. Is Dallas Cowboys the threat to the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC? Mo, your thoughts?
Not even a little bit. I don't. Look, we kind of went over this a little bit. The Niners are struggling, but here's the thing: the Cowboys, what they don't do is they're not that physical. Not offensively. Now, defensively, they can get after you, but I'm talking about the other side of the football. Their offense cannot handle the speed or physicality of both the Eagles and 49ers defense. And when push comes to shove, when the Eagles are right and the Niners are right, both of them can rely on their run game. Dallas cannot do that. So, no, I do not think the Dallas Cowboys are a serious threat. I think they'll make the playoffs and they'll get knocked out of the playoffs like they always do.
Cool. I mean, I have your thoughts, but I still want to know. I already know you're going to go with this, but I still want to know.
So here's the thing. Mo was completely 1,000%, 1,000,000%, a quintillion% correct. But on top of that, we also need to point out to add, not to replace, but to add to what Mo said. As the season goes on, we get less and less from the Arlington football team. We're in the middle of the season. We're at that point where we're going to start to see sooner or later. Now, I'll even tell you this. They may somehow pull out a victory against the Eagles on Sunday. It's anything's possible. But I think the worst thing for them would be to win. Because if they were to win that game, then guess what happens? We them boys, we go into the Super Bowl. We the greatest team in all history of the NFL. And then the next week they'll get knocked down again. And then the next week again after that. Because they've already had their bye. So I think the problem with Dallas is their own mentality. They get in their own way. That's the main problem with them. Anything that they do positively, they're the greatest team ever. Anything negative that happens to them, they just shrug it off. So there's no awareness of the fact that we're not as good as we think we are. We need to really work on being better as a unit. They're so enthralled in they always have to put themselves at the top. They always have to be that team or right at that team that you can't acknowledge when you're not playing well, when you've lost, what you need to do better. The fact that you got a meddling old crazy owner who won't get out of the way. All those things that old man said at the same time I did. But those are problems. And you're not fixing those problems tomorrow. So history teaches us, history shows us that there's a choke on the way from the Arlington football team, aka the Dallas Cowboys, and it's coming. And it might start Sunday.
Yeah, and look, we're not denying how talented Dallas is, but if you're thinking big picture down the road, we're talking playoffs. The thing about playoffs is at some point it comes down to situational football. The Dallas Cowboys are not good at situational football. More importantly, their quarterback is not good at situational football. That's just
Amen.
a fact.
Amen.
Keep telling people, Jerry and the Cowboys. I mean, Cowboys ain't gonna do nothing till Jerry. I told you I don't wish death on nobody, but they're not gonna do anything until he goes to the upper room. That's it.